Good morning, everyone. Hopefully I don't lose my voice. My allergies are starting to kick in. But today, this video is all about housing. And no matter how much money you make and what age you are, I really love helping people in any way I can and to kind of direct them on the right path when it comes to housing. So today's video is all about housing, and hopefully you can, be able to use this information to get housing in the future, whether you're doing van life or not. This is really not directed towards people who are doing van life or live in an RV, but maybe there's something that can help you, some information that I can give you that can help you in the future. So first things first, there are over 340 million people that are living in the United States. And 1/3 of those people make under $50,000 a year. And of course, within that 1/3, there could be 40, they could be making $30,000 a year, $20,000 a year. So anyway, I just wanted to make that very clear that 1/3 of the United States makes under $50,000 a year. So think about that. And those are usually, blue collar workers, people that are making minimum wage, making under $20 an hour, the majority. So think about that. They are really like carrying the rest of the country, all the people that work in fast food, those that work in department stores, caregivers. There are so many people that work in this country that don't make a lot of money. And I really wanted to direct this video to help people, like I said, in any way that I can. So there are 5 different types of housing that people can live in. One is affordable housing, and I'm going to go through the detail in just a moment. There's affordable housing, there's subsidized housing, there is senior housing, there is lottery housing, and then of course your market apartment or condo or house, your market, meaning that you could go on Zillow or rent.com or find an apartment or a house to rent anywhere in the country, and that would be market. So affordable housing usually is a set price. So let's say there is a 1-bedroom apartment that's affordable. It could be $800 a month. Now you have to meet the guidelines of affordable housing. So you can't be making, and I'm just giving this as an example, like you can't be making over $36,000 a year, but you also can't be making under $20,000 a year, because then you don't qualify. So there's a very strict guideline for the income qualifications for that. The second one is subsidized housing. Subsidized housing and senior housing, both of them are based on your income. So 1/3 of your gross income ends up being your rent. And that can kind of give you an idea of how much you're going to be paying in the future. Usually, depending on where it is in the country, it could be anywhere from, depending on the demographic area, you could be paying anywhere between $300 a month or $700 a month, depending on the income limit for that area, because there are areas of our country that are more expensive to live, and even though it's still 1/3, your income limit may be a little bit higher than someplace that is where they don't get paid as much, and so your income limit may be a lot less. So both of those are exactly the same. It's 1/3 of your gross income. Um, the other one is lottery housing. Now, lottery housing is very different, I believe, state to state, but I'm not sure on this. So I hope, I'm giving you the correct information on this. But usually when a builder builds, let's say 20 condos or townhomes, and it could be like in Massachusetts, they could build 20 condos and 25% have to be sold as lottery. So you've got lottery housing, and though the price on the condo or apartment, whatever it is that's being sold, is usually at least half of what the market value is. So if somebody pays $200,000 for a condo someplace and somebody applies for the lottery housing, they would be paying $100,000 or less for that same exact apartment. However, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the market value one. So, you may not end up with granite countertops and all the fancy things that go with a regular apartment, townhome, or apartment for that matter. So, and then the other one, of course, is the apartment that you get for market value. Anywhere in the country, you can apply for an apartment. Hopefully you have good credit and your income, meets their qualifications. But the market value ones, just to give you a heads up on this, sometimes when you apply for an apartment and let's say they want $1,000 a month, but your budget is more like 900. So a lot of landlords will work with you if you have really good credit, you have good references, you're a hard worker, and you're like, gosh, I really was hoping I could get this for 900 or maybe 1,000 and they want 1,100. Work with the landlord, because a good tenant is so valuable to any landlord. They would rather have somebody move into an apartment or a house with good credit and good references, and you're going to be a good tenant, and you're going to be clean and quiet and responsible. They would rather have somebody pay a little bit less than to have somebody move in there and end up being, trash the place or whatever. So a good tenant is just as valuable as to a landlord, even more so than the money. So just to give you a heads up on that. And then, of course, I totally forgot this, so I should mention there is also Habitat for Humanity. And Habitat for Humanity is pretty much across the country. And anyone that doesn't know about Habitat for Humanity, they build homes and you actually help to build your home. And it's kind of like the lottery housing. You have to apply, you have to qualify to meet the income qualifications, and it's usually for families. I don't know of anybody that's actually been approved for Habitat for Humanity if you live alone, because it's usually for families or a single mom or a single dad, and you help to build your home. And people actually donate paint and furniture and any type of lumber and things like that. So it's kind of cool. It's a lot of work for the person that's involved in applying, and also for the people that choose the right family. And there's usually one or two, or maybe more than that, in every town that's building them. It may not be across the country, because I'm sure that there's land that's donated all the time to Habitat for Humanity, but may not be a good area or the right area to build. So anyway, so I just wanted to mention all of this about housing. I am going to make another video in the future for those that are kind of seeking hope in this journey of life. I know that there are a lot of questions in life that people just don't understand. And as you know, I went on my road trip across country. I wasn't really able to get the best videos for every state, and I missed some states. There were so many things that I really wanted to go to that I really wasn't able to do when I went on my journey across country. But I do want to mention for some of the states that I went to, I really loved Amarillo, Texas, and I loved Arizona, and I loved Vegas, and I really never knew, and of course Oklahoma was just absolutely breathtaking, and Arkansas, the western part of Arkansas where the Ozarks are. I don't think that you really, I have to just say this, I don't think you really can make any opinions about any state, and I mean that across the country, unless you actually go there and see how beautiful every state is. It is really incredible. It was such an eye-opener because every state was much more beautiful, way more beautiful than I ever thought. And I never knew how many affordable towns and cities and areas there were that you could live, that you could retire, and regardless of your age. You know, I'm 57, but you could be in your early 20s and trying to find an apartment and, you know, a good job in an area where you can have fun. And that's like a big part of finding the right place to live. And you kind of hope that your whole family or your children, your family and friends, and everybody could be on the same bandwagon. You know, if you grow up in New England, I feel like the most popular places to live are the Carolinas or Florida or California, because you kind of want that better weather year round, but you want the beauty, you want the mountains, the ocean, all of that. But there are so many other places that are a little bit off the beaten path, that are beautiful towns and areas with tons of things to do, you know, having fun, maybe a zoo, botanical garden, places to swim, a lake, but most importantly, you have to have an income. And so anyway, I just wanted to mention, you know, some of the places that I think are beautiful areas to live. They have job opportunities, and it's affordable, and you can have fun. And so I just wanted to mention, first of all, as I'm heading from Tennessee, I think I told you guys about Paris, Tennessee. You know, it's such a beautiful area. There's not a lot of job opportunities. However, you are still 2 hours from Nashville. Milan, Tennessee is absolutely beautiful, excellent schools, and also job opportunities, and could be more affordable. North Carolina, the western part of North Carolina, I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite areas of the whole country, and there is job opportunities, but the income, that you may not get paid as much. So, you know, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your rent, because your rent may be a little higher, and also you may not get paid as much. So anyway, it's sort of my go-to place for vacation, but may not necessarily be a good place to live year-round. So it kind of depends on your job and your occupation. The Ozarks, there's some beautiful areas in the Ozarks, and and again, there's swimming, there's campgrounds, there's job opportunities. Oklahoma, I think anywhere in Oklahoma, honestly, is beautiful from my perspective. But again, job opportunities. Texas, there's so many areas of Texas that are beautiful, great job opportunities, places where you can have a lot of fun. Northern New Mexico is absolutely beautiful, close to the Rocky Mountains. It's a beautiful area, and I never really knew much about New Mexico, but there's a whole region that's, you've got the desert region, so it's kind of hard to, even if you buy property, you're not going to get the resources that you need. But northern New Mexico is really pretty, bordering the Colorado border. Nevada, Las Vegas, surrounding areas of Vegas is really beautiful, and there's so much to do, which is really important, I think, regardless of your age. You want to have things to do. You want to, have fun and have some sort of social life, and to be able to make good money and have an affordable home or apartment. California, California is a different story. California is beautiful. It's like a little piece of paradise. But it is definitely, you have to have a really good job. So I loved California, absolutely loved it. I can't imagine anybody not loving California. But again, you have to be able to afford an apartment or a condo, wherever, if you're going to buy a home or whatever. You have to be really smart and really good with money management. And so I wanted to mention something, and I actually don't have it in front of me, but I'm just going to mention I'm a big person for recycling and protection of Mother Earth and Mother Nature. And I just wanted to mention this before I end this video, that I bought something over the past week that I absolutely love, and it's recyclable paper towels. And I've used them, and they actually work way better than regular paper towels. And I just wanted to mention these because we have, just under 8 billion people living on the planet. And I am all about, recycling and helping to preserve the earth as much as possible. And one roll of recyclable paper towels is $17. I bought them at Home Depot. They're made of microfiber. Never saw them before. So you just, use your, vinegar and water to clean, or whatever your glass cleaner, car cleaner, Windex, whatever you're going to use. And you could use your recyclable paper towels, and think how much that would help Mother Earth. So I love them. I just bought them, and then you just use them and throw them in the wash. So I was thinking how awesome, and I wish I knew they even existed before. And it's a large thing of paper towels, and I thought I would mention those because, when you think about it, 8 billion people, on the planet Earth, and if every person bought recyclable paper towels and, maybe have a little bit of both, depending on what you're using, what you're doing with the paper towels, what you're using to clean. But anyway, I just thought I would mention those. I try to encourage people to and to help them save money in any way, because that's really going to save you a lot of money. Paper towels, toilet paper, all that stuff is so expensive. And, maybe just buying that one thing can help you save money and also protect Mother Earth, and to help you, with your monthly budget with the things that you buy. So anyway, as you can see, I have my Peace on Earth I had to put that up early. I'm a Christmas person. I love Christmas and I love the holidays. So I already put my flag up for the season. I know it's only September, and my kids will tell you that I was listening to Christmas music, playing Christmas music in my home throughout my entire adult life as a mother. Listening to Christmas music starting in September. Yep, in September. So anyway, I could never get tired of Christmas in the fall. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I got to work today, so I apologize. My voice isn't that great this morning. It's getting a little bit cooler. I know the weather is getting beautiful with the fall. It's my favorite time of year. So anyway, hopefully this video will help you guys in the future. And if I think of anything that I left out after I post this, I'll try to put it in the comments on my Facebook and hopefully on YouTube. So anyway, have a blessed day. And yeah, I hope, all right, bye.